stove, pan, spatula, butter, egg, plate, toast. Turn on stove. For heat. Put pan on stove. Add butter to pan. The butter melts. Push the butter with the spatula. Put the spatula down. Pick up an egg. Crack the egg. Open the egg. The egg is frying. Pick up the spatula. Flip the egg. Then flip the egg again. Turn off the heat. Serve the egg on a plate with toast. Serve the egg on a plate with toast. That demonstration you just watched was for an idea that I call EngliStart. These are the main topics that I'm going to talk about as a follow-up to the demo. What is EngliStart? EngliStart isn't a company or anything official that I formed. It's just an idea for a collection of videos where English words are spoken and shown in subtitles as action is being shown in a video. So contributors would make videos similar to the demo that I showed, and they would link them all together using the EngliStart hashtag, and that would create a large library of videos for people who want to learn English. They can watch the video, they can see how words are spelled and pronounced, and they can see what they mean from the actions in the video. The idea of EngliStart is to allow anyone in the world who can get to YouTube the chance to learn English for free. They would watch videos to get a foundational ability to read and hear English, and they can use that to move on to newspapers and books and websites, and to be able to understand English language television or radio or conversation. Why should you make a video for EngliStart? Help millions of people around the world to have a free and easy to understand starting point for learning English that exposes them to a lot of vocabulary and does so in a way that provides context. If we have instruction processes or stories, that gives people context to anchor the vocabulary in, makes it easier and more interesting for them to learn. And when they see words coming up again and again in different videos, that will help to provide vocabulary repetition as well as context to the exact meaning of different words. If we can help people learn English, that's good for them because they can speak with a lot more people around the world and they can learn a lot more about the rest of the world by being able to read and listen to English. And then also, equally as important is that if these people are learning English, they can share with the rest of us what their part of the world is like. Whereas if they don't speak English, maybe it would be hard for them to do that. And if this model works really well for English, maybe people would start using it for other languages, which could make it easier for people who only speak English to be able to learn a different language if they want to. Why use EngliStart over alternatives? EngliStart videos will be free for people to watch, just like other YouTube videos. EngliStart gives viewers a high rate of vocabulary exposure, like you saw in the demo. And context from the videos, in my opinion, will aid retention and make learning more interesting. And also having a lot of videos with a lot of topics will provide a lot of variety and also help sustain people's interest in learning English through EngliStart. Don't let fear stop you from making a video. If your English isn't perfect, like if you misspell a word, let's say, people will see that word being used in other videos too, and we can safely assume that most people are going to spell that word correctly, and that somebody learning from EngliStart will see the correct spelling enough times that they'll eventually catch on and realize, that's probably the right way that the word is spelled. So if we make a mistake in our videos every here and there, most people will not make that same mistake, and so learners can still figure out the correct way from that consensus of how a word is spelled or how something is said. If you have an accent, that's not a drawback, that's a benefit, because realistically speaking, people from around the world who speak English have accents depending on the region that they're from. And so we need to be able to understand people's accents when they speak English in order for speaking English together to be useful. Please speak clearly and enunciate when you create a video for EngliStart, but having an accent isn't a drawback. That's an advantage, and that will help make for a richer and more useful experience for those who are learning with EngliStart. And if you don't like the way you sound when you make a video, you heard in the demo, I sounded sharp, and I didn't really like the fact that I sounded sharp and bossy, and I would say that I was thinking about redoing the demo, but at the same time I thought, I shouldn't redo the demo because it's good enough to get the point across. It doesn't need to be perfect and polished, and I don't want everyone else to think that they need to have a perfect video. They need to have the substance and be able to clearly teach English with their video. So if your video is not perfect, that's okay. As long as you are teaching and using the style like the demo shows, then you should just go with that and consider that good enough and go ahead and post the video. Is it worth the effort? Well, it took me, I think, about 4 hours to make my 2-minute video, and I figured that once 120 people have viewed it, let's say they were viewing my demo to learn English, then 120 people viewing that is 4 hours worth of viewing time. And so to me, that's like a break-even point. I spent 4 hours making it, people spent 4 hours learning English from it. And once it gets past 120 views, then that's just more people being able to learn from that without me having to put any more effort into it. So I think in the long run, the more views you get, the better and better the return on your effort becomes. Remember, when you're asking yourself if this is worth it, that you're helping a lot of people around the world to be able to learn English, which can improve their economic opportunity. It can help make travel easier and more appealing for them, and it can give them a lot of good opportunities to learn because they can read about things on the internet, or they can read books or magazines or newspapers in English, and there's a lot of English language media out there. So you could really be opening up a whole new world for these people by helping them to learn English. Here is the first of 2 pages for how to make a video. You can either pause this video or you can take a screenshot to reference these steps. This is the process that I used to make the demo. It worked well for me, so I decided I would share it with you. And this is basically about coming up with the topic, writing out the steps of the topic story, and then filming. I recommend filming the nouns ahead of time like I did in the demo. That works out well and gives people a good introduction before they start seeing the actions in the video. And then here's the other page. And this is essentially editing and reviewing and posting the video. And these links are down in the description section, so you can see. You can use those links down there instead of having to manually retype the entire link that's on the slide. So Windows 10 has a built-in video editor if you use that operating system, and this video gives you a good basic tutorial of how to use that. And then if you're a Mac user, here are some good links that I found for editing film in iMovie. Once you've created the video, maybe you want to share it with some people, let them look at it and give you feedback. That's optional. And then when you're ready to post the video, you post it on your own YouTube account, and then please use the EngliStart hashtag to link your video to other videos like this that people make, so that we can build that library for people who want to learn English and need a good starting point to begin with. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave one below. Otherwise, questions or comments could be sent to EngliStart@gmail.com. And lastly, please share this video with any family or friends or anyone else you know who might be interested in the idea, especially if you think they might feel inclined to make a video. Thank you.